we're back for the next bit of tea. This one is a neighbor like situation. So, you know, these people have to see these people every day, so it's not like I don't know. Anyway, the person who sent this, we'll call her D. She has lived in her neighborhood for about 4 years. Nice, quiet street. Everybody waves. Nobody's really in each other's business the way it should be. I had to go put the pizza in the oven. Anyway, yeah, so neighbors. Glad, you know, that they wave and all that, whatever, cool. Whatever. Moving on. Her next door neighbors are a couple. Been there longer than she has. We'll call them Phil and Sandra for these purposes. So on the surface, they're perfectly normal. Cookouts in the summer, Christmas lights in December, a golden retriever named Biscuit, you know, white picket fence, all the things, okay? Earlier this year, Dee notices Sandra outside a lot more than usual. Like just sitting on the porch alone, sometimes early in the morning, sometimes late at night. Dee waves, Sandra waves back. Dee doesn't think much of it. I wouldn't either. I mean, unless it's really weird to see someone sitting on their porch, but I enjoy sitting on the porch, especially with a cup of coffee and or a book to read. So that's not suspicious to me. Anyway, then one Saturday morning, Dee sees a moving truck in the driveway. Not a big one, a small rental, and Phil is loading boxes into it. Alone. No Sandra in sight. Dee assumes they're donating stuff or maybe redecorating. Doesn't ask any questions. I'm wondering if it doesn't tell me how old these people are. I would like to know. I guess I should ask. Dee assumes they're donating stuff. Okay, yes. Anyway, the boxes keep coming week after week. Small loads, always when Sandra isn't home. Okay, now it's suspicious. One afternoon, Sandra knocks on Dee's door to return a dish she'd borrowed months ago. They end up talking on the porch for a while. At some point, Sandra mentions casually that Phil has been going through some stuff and has been really stressed lately. Dee nods, doesn't say anything about the boxes. 3 weeks later, Sandra knocks again. This time, she's not calm. She's holding her phone with her hand shaking, and she asks Dee very quietly if she's noticed anything strange going on over there. Dee pauses, and then she tells her about the boxes. Sandra's face goes completely still. Turns out, Phil had been slowly moving his things out for months, a little at a time, so Sandra wouldn't notice. He had already signed a lease on an apartment across town, had already filed paperwork that she hadn't been served yet, had already told his entire family the marriage was over. Where's the common decency here? Sandra found out because his sister accidentally texted Sandra instead of Phil, asking how the new place is coming along. Phil came home that evening to a locked door and his last remaining boxes on the front porch. And Biscuit stayed with Sandra, obviously. She's probably nicer than me because the boxes were on the front porch. Not sure the stuff would be in the boxes had it been me. But, whatever. So, okay. There's that one.